All right, let's talk about something that's happening pretty much every time you shop online, book a flight, or grab a ride. It's a kind of hidden economic revolution. It's called surveillance pricing, and honestly, it might be the beginning of the end for the simple price tag as we know it.
So, let's just dive right in with a question. You know that feeling of panic, right? Your phone's on its last legs, battery in the red. Have you ever wondered, is this desperation about to cost me more money? Well, it turns out that anxiety might be more than just a feeling. For basically all of modern history, economics had a pretty simple rule. One product, one price for everybody in the market. Simple. But big data and AI have completely flipped that script. We're shifting away from that world of a single price and into a brand new one, where the price is cooked up dynamically, just for you, in the exact moment you're about to click buy. To really get our heads around how this all works, we have to start with the most famous example of all, that theory that Uber charges you more when your phone battery is low. So is it just an urban legend, or is it a cold, hard algorithmic reality? Let's find out. Okay, so back in 2016, Uber's own head of economic research went on the record about this. He admitted that, yeah, they knew people were way more willing to accept a higher surge price when their battery was dying. But, and this was the key part, he was very firm that they did not use that information to actually set the price. That was the official story. But here's where it gets really interesting, isn't it? While the public statement says one thing, if you dig into their actual technology patent for the ride-sharing system, it tells a slightly different story. It specifically lists battery level as a piece of data they collect from your device, which makes you wonder, why go to all the trouble of collecting that data if you're not going to use it for something? Well, this exact suspicion was put to the test by a Belgian newspaper. They ran a really simple but clever experiment. Two people, same spot, same destination, requesting a ride at the very same time. The only real difference between them, one phone had a healthy 84% charge, the other was barely hanging on at just 12%. The results were pretty telling. And the result? The user with the nearly dead battery was quoted a fare that was 6% higher. Now, a company might say that's just a split-second change in demand, a coincidence, but it's a pretty compelling example of how that moment of digital vulnerability can line up perfectly with a little price hike. But look, this isn't just about ride-sharing apps on your phone. The same exact thinking is quietly making its way into the physical world, everywhere from fast food chains to the airline industry. I mean, just look at what happened with Wendy's in early 2024. The CEO mentioned a plan for dynamic pricing on a call with investors. The public immediately heard that and thought, wait a minute, surge pricing for burgers? The idea of paying more for a Frosty during the lunch rush did not go over well. The backlash was so fast and so furious that within 24 hours, the company was in full damage control, insisting they only meant they'd offer discounts during slow times. But the cat was already out of the bag. It showed us the tech to do this is already getting installed in real brick-and-mortar stores. And then you've got the airlines. They basically invented dynamic pricing, but now they're taking it a massive step forward. We're moving past that old bucket system, where there were just a few fixed blocks of seats at different prices. Companies like Delta are now testing what they call generative pricing. This is where an AI engine creates a completely unique price for every single person who searches for a flight. Its goal is to find the absolute maximum that you, specifically, would be willing to pay. We're heading for a world where it's totally possible that no two people on the same plane paid the same price or even saw the same price when they were booking. So we've seen the what, we've seen the examples. Now let's pull back the curtain and look at the how. What's the economic engine that's actually making all of this possible? Well, it all boils down to this one concept: surveillance pricing. It's the practice of using absolutely everything a company knows about you, your search history, your location, what you've bought before, maybe even your phone's battery, to calculate the perfect, tailor-made price to show you right now, just to maximize their profit. So here's the crucial point. In a traditional market, there's this great thing called consumer surplus. That's the value you get when you pay less for something than you were actually prepared to pay. It's that what a deal feeling. Surveillance pricing is basically a tool designed to find that surplus, surgically remove it from you, and transfer it directly to the company. It's all about finding the very top of what you're willing to pay and setting the price right there. And if you zoom out from just one purchase, you start to see that this isn't just about individual transactions. This whole trend has some really profound consequences for the entire economy and how we even think about value. When this becomes the normal way of doing business, the entire market starts to warp. Transparent, one-size-fits-all pricing just vanishes. Instead, each of us starts to experience our very own personalized inflation rate. Imagine you and your neighbor order the exact same groceries online. But because an algorithm knows you've paid for express shipping before, it flags you as less sensitive to price and just quietly charges you 5% more for that carton of milk. And this also creates a bizarre new risk: algorithmic collusion. This is where AIs from competing companies can actually learn, without any humans telling them to, that it's in all of their best interests to just keep prices high for everyone. It's like a secret price-fixing scheme run entirely by machines.
So, what does this all mean for us, for you and me trying to navigate this new, hyper-personalized world? I think the single most important thing to take away from all this is simple. The price you're being shown is no longer just about the product. It's not about the cost to make it or market demand. It's a price that's about you. It's a reflection of your data, your behavior, and what an algorithm has decided you can be convinced to pay. And that really leaves us with a tough final question. In a world where there isn't one price for something, but a million different prices for a million different people, what does fair even mean anymore? And how can any of us ever really know if we're getting a good deal?